Hey, it's Matt Webley here. So as you know, in 2026, anybody can now build software as a service using AI, just natural language now. Not anybody can build a business, and I've been in business for over 25 years now. The last 8 years I've been building software as a service with human devs, and now I've transitioned over into helping people build AI SaaS, but obviously the AI does all of the heavy lifting with the code. In fact, it does all of the code. So literally anybody can build SaaS, but not anybody can build SaaS businesses. And I see course creators and content creators creating videos on how to build software as a service, which, like I say, I could teach you in a week very easily. But the hard bit is building a business, and it's the key decisions you make along the way that are going to influence whether you can actually make money with your SaaS and build it as a business, or if it's just going to be a beautiful piece of software that does nothing other than collect virtual dust. So this is my kind of formula, if you like, for moving into the space, if creating a cash flowing digital asset, software as a service business, using AI is your goal, right? So if your goal is to create the next LinkedIn or the next Facebook or the next whatever, like $1 billion thing, then this is probably not for you. But if you're looking to make a 5, 10, 20K a month business that's very passive, faceless, recurring income, you can do it in your spare time, and AI does 99% of the hard work, then this is the video for you. So let me talk you through kind of like my, I don't know whether to call it a golden formula or whatever, but let's talk you through it. So the best thing to do, right, if you're trying to create a cash flowing SaaS business, is not to try and create a brand new idea. That's where procrastination lives, and where you go from somebody that could have a SaaS business that makes 5, 10, 20K a month into somebody that doesn't even start building any SaaS, right? So don't try and think of a brand new idea. Move into a space, a niche within a niche within a niche that already has a few competitors. 3, 4, 5 competitors. Main ones would be perfect. You don't want to move into a niche with 0 competitors unless you are literally trying to become a billionaire and you think you've got the best idea ever and you think you're going to execute it before anyone else copies you, etc., etc., etc. So I'm not saying don't come up with unique ideas. You can, but unique ideas are not the best way for most people. Normal everyday people that aren't entrepreneurial minded, they're not the best way to kind of get success if 5, 10, 20K a month is your goal, which I think it should be. Trying to swing, what do they call it, Americans, bat for the, I don't know what they call it, but try and go for a home run on your first kind of project and try and create that $1 billion idea probably is a mistake for most people. That's just the truth of it. But that is a path. You can do that if you want, but this is not referring to that. So let's talk about how you move into a market that already exists, right? So what you need to do is you're going to move into a market with established competition. I think you should go into business to business markets because businesses pay for software because it saves them money, makes them money, saves them time, means they don't have to employ somebody for a monotonous task and manage that person, etc. So a business will invest in software a lot easier oftentimes than a consumer will. I often use the example, a goldfish app. A goldfish app might be nice. If you're a consumer, you like different breeds of goldfish, if there's such a thing. You know, oh, this is a purple speckled goldfish from the Caribbean. Amazing, right? But you're only going to pay a limited amount of money for that. Whereas if you were what do you call it, like a fish shop, I don't mean a fish and chip shop either. If you're a shop that sells tropical fish and we're talking about an app that helps you run your fish selling business, what do you call it? Aquatic business? I don't know. I don't know why my brain's gone blank. But anyway, tell me in the comments down below what word am I meaning. But yeah, if you're helping them run their business, well, they might sell 1,000 fish a month, and you can help them do X, Y, Z in their business. So they're very happy to pay you $49 or $99 a month to help them run that fish business, right? And that's a good example of a niche kind of a niche within a niche. You could go, I help all small businesses run their business. That's way too broad. If you speak to everybody, or you try to speak to everybody, you speak to nobody, right? So the idea is you niche within a niche within a niche. So a fish business, not a perfect example, but it is an example of where B2B versus somebody that's interested in goldfish, they might pay $7 one time for your app, whereas a business that is literally selling fish, well, if you build some software that helps them do some element or all of their business, now you've got something that is valuable to that person. And that's smaller subset of people that sell fish via their shops or online or whatever. So what do? You find the other, let's stick with the example, you find other people with fish selling shops. Please tell me in the comments what I mean. You find other people with fish selling shops, and what software are they using? Is there some established software out there that those fish selling shops use? Okay, my guess is maybe they either cobble together some software from kind of broader level stuff. So if they're selling fish supplies via e-commerce, they might be selling it via Shopify, say. But if they're like a physical in-person fish shop, there might be some kind of like a lot more niche software that they use, but maybe not. Maybe you could be the first. So that might be a really nice place to move into, and it's kind of more unique. But you find the competitors anyway. So let's say there's a bunch of fish selling shop software that all the fish shops use, and there's maybe 3 of them, right? So what you'd look to do is you would compare the competitors. So in this case, you've got competitor 1, competitor 2, competitor 3. You'd look at the features, you'd look at the price, you'd look at the trial length, you'd look if they've got any unique selling points, that kind of thing, right? So you do a little bit of an analysis on the competition. Now, the right AI prompts can help you do this, but just looking at the different softwares and just getting a feel for what they offer, how much they cost, and all that stuff will help you do this research. But then what you're looking to do is, if you want to compete with those fish selling software as a services, you can't ignore the features that they already have, because those features that they already have solve problems for their customers. So you have to clone their core features. You don't have to copy them exactly, but you have to emulate the functionality. Each feature, it carries with it a benefit, which is a problem solved, right? So as you're cloning core features, you're solving the same problems, right? So you've got to clone those core features to be able to compete. So step 1 really is to, if you want to compete with these fish shop selling software as a services, of which you found maybe 3 or 4 perfect, you don't want to go into a market where there's 0, because it's just too, it's probably not going to work out for you in most cases. Not all, you got to do you, but so you find the core features that are shared, and then you're going to clone those core features. That solves those problems. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a USP feature, right? So coming up with a unique software, very difficult. Coming up with a unique selling point or unique feature, pretty easy. You can just have a look what the competition is doing and kind of look in the marketplace, what are people moaning about, is there any reviews of their softwares, what are they saying that's wrong with it. It's very easy to come up with something that maybe they're not doing as well as they could, or maybe they're not doing it at all. And in the days of AI, you're competing against dinosaur businesses that took years to build probably, and you can build a SaaS in a month or 2. And so adding a USP feature would be actually really easy for you. So you find a USP feature, and then as my kind of market penetration perfect formula for this space, if you're looking for 5, 10, 20k a month AI SaaS and you're a beginner, you've never done it before, then you can offer a longer free trial, and then you can offer a cheaper monthly price. And I think this is a perfect formula for somebody getting into the market, building their first software as a service business, looking to compete with established competition, right? So clone the core feature set, invent 1 or 2 USP or unique features, have a longer free trial if you can, and then have a cheaper monthly price. And this is the winning formula, I believe. if you're just looking for a cash flowing, passive, faceless, remotely run business that you can build with AI, right? So what would you do? You'd take a look at the competitors, you'd take a look at their features, right? You'd take a look at their prices, you'd take a look at their trial lengths, and then you'd look at the USPs. And then you're looking to stack up a better offer than them. So when you're looking at their competitor one's $150 a month, competitor two's $50 a month. We've got competitor 4 here, $30 a month. Okay, well you do a lower price. So this comes to this cheaper monthly price. You can go in at $19 a month. Now I'm not saying you should try and be the cheapest forever. I don't think that's a great long-term strategy, because somebody else will come in and just become cheaper than you. But you should aim to be the best software and the best regarded software in the space. So maybe you add a load of unique features over time that really stands you apart from the competition, and then you can command a higher price. Because there is a saying here, look, there's no strategic advantage to being the second cheapest. I think it was Russell Brunson that first said that. So you don't want to be just in amongst the mix. Either it's best to probably be the most expensive or be the cheapest. Otherwise, price isn't really going to be a factor that people take into account that much with you. They're going to take into account everything else, right? So hopefully you get that. Unique feature, longer trial period, lower monthly price, clone their best features, add one thing they don't have, and don't reinvent the wheel, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to go into a market where there's pre-established competition, because the competition validates the demand, right? Seeing those 3 fish shops, SAASes out there, means that there is space for number 4, and you could be number 4. They might have 1,000 customers each, say. You don't need 1,000 customers. If you could get 1 to 200 customers, then it's going to be life-changing money for you, because typically a lot of those will have dev teams. They're paying either an agency to maintain it and build new features, or they're paying for full-time devs on staff, or they're spending all their time and effort building it out and trying to be everything in the business. You can have AI do the building, and AI can do a lot of the customer service. It can do a lot of everything now. So essentially you're moving into a market where there's 3 dinosaur competitors that are very, very entrenched, doing it the way they've always done it. Maybe some of them are a little bit more cutting edge and they're adding AI into their kind of tech stack, if you like, but probably not. They're probably enjoying their fat recurring revenue every month, and it's ripe for you to come along and disrupt it. It's not easy to move into an established market and get a foothold, but there's loads of strategies that I teach and I talk about that can absolutely do that. And it's having this formula up front that is going to allow you to kind of be positioned in the right way to dislodge those established competitors. So other than letting me know about the fish thing down in the comments down below, I will say that you can build your own SaaS in 21 days at my challenge. It's an app that walks you through it. It's challenge.mattwebley.com. You sign up there. There's 21 daily micro tasks. There's the training that shows you how to do it, and it's interactive as well. So you actually interact with my app that takes you through the 21 days, and at the end of it, you have a piece of software to sell. So then at that point, you can use this strategy and go penetrate that market of 3, 4, 5 established SaaS competitors by just being faster, more nimble, more kind of on it because you're AI first, etc., etc. Hopefully that makes sense. If you enjoy this video, this is the kind of videos I make. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I read them all, I answer them all, subscribe and all that stuff. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, I'll be doing much more of it. Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Webley, and bye-bye.